Hello everyone, and welcome back to Classic Modern Gaming. Today we're going to talk about some pickups, 8-bit and 16-bit pickups. Over the course of the time I was gone, the 8 months I didn't post anything, I actually was doing stuff, and I want to share some of that with you today. The first game I got that was, it's not pretty. POW, Prisoners of War. I've been wanting to get this game for a while, and I'm usually extremely picky about my games I pick up. I need the labels to be in very good quality, no writing on it, whoever KW is, stuff like that. But this was like $2, and $2 for an NES game, even in this condition, I can relabel it. It's not that big of a deal. So if need be, I'll order a new label. There's some really good eBay sellers that make these replacement labels. I might do that at some point. But POW, love the game, love the arcade. Too bad this game isn't 2 players like the arcade, but regardless, it's still a great NES game. The next one I got is one you don't hear about very often. And honestly, I didn't know anything else about it until just a few years ago. Clash of Demon Head. Again, I've never even heard about this game until I was watching just some YouTube videos, and I watched, actually it was Bithead 1000, so some of you guys might know him. He was showing off this game, and I thought it looked great. Something about this game, it's like it's about those hidden gems, because there's a lot more to it than what you originally think. You know, when you first start it, you're like, okay, it's just like a simple little platformer, but there's a lot more involved into this game than meets the eye, and it has like an open level kind of concept. You can kind of go around this grid system, and so think of it as Super Mario World, and you're moving from different levels, but you can go back and replay the same levels, as that's actually required to pick up extra power-ups and secret areas. So we'll definitely have to take a look at this one. The Clash of Demon Head. Always wanted it, found it, good price, picked it up. I think I may have got it for $15. Everybody knows this one. Come on now. Bobble. I did pay a little bit too much for this one. In my opinion, I paid $25 for it. And I think it's worth $25 for the most part. I mean, it's good. It's worth a good $20. But yeah, I did pick this up. Just a couple months ago, if I remember correctly. So me and the wife was out and about over in Ohio, stopping at some retro game stores, and this was in there, and it's one of the games I've always wanted to add to my collection. Me and my mom used to play this all the time. It's about one of the only games that Mom would play. She played this and Rampage with me. So yeah, a lot of good memories with this one, and great classic game. Next in line, Dig Dug 2. Now, I don't know if any of you guys, I know a lot of you probably played the first Dig Dug. But I think Dig Dug 2 is where it's at. I really enjoyed Dig Dug 2. There's other games that I've played that it reminds me of, but regardless, great game. I love it. It's very simplistic. But now with Dig Dug is using the jackhammer, you can mark places on these islands where the levels take place, and you can knock off chunks of the island, make the bad guys fall in the water, or you can use the classic Dig Dug pump to keep those pumped enemies up until they explode. So great for kids. Regardless, Dig Dug 2, awesome game. I think I got maybe $10. Yeah, I think about $10 for this one. Great game. And last but not least, for the 8-bit pickups, Adventure Island 2. absolutely adore Adventure Island 2. I've been wanting this game and trying to pick up Adventure Island 2 for a long time, and I just kept putting it off, kept putting it off. Label's coming off just ever so slightly there, but finally I noticed the price on this was it just kept going up. It was getting ridiculous. It was actually getting really stupid, in my opinion. Stupid price for this to me is like when it starts getting to 35 and 40 dollars for NES cartridges. That's where I'm like, okay, it's getting a little crazy. But Adventure Island 2 to me is the best Adventure Island game on the NES, and I'm super addicted to this game, along with the TurboGrafx version, New Adventure Island. Incredible games. This one adds dinosaurs you can ride, and you can like use them to store them as power-ups to use in different levels at different times. But yeah, gonna be looking forward to sharing this game with you. So yep, Adventure Island 2, and I did probably pay too much for this one as well. I don't remember how much. I probably did pay $30 for this, or 28, 25, something like that. But yep, great game. Glad to have it in my collection. Now we're going to do some of these 16-bit, and yeah, we're going to start with Super Nintendo. Earth Defense Force. And this one, it falls in line. It's kind of like in the middle. It's not definitely one of the highlights, but it's not the bottom of the barrel either. It's just definitely somewhere in the middle, and was a game that always interested me because of the parallax scrolling and the music and interesting power-up system. So, Earth Defense Force, pretty decent shooter. Next in line is Time Slip. Time Slip is an interesting game because that's another one that people just don't talk about, you don't hear about. I actually bought this game brand new back in the day at that store, Roses again. Thanks, Roses. So many good memories. And yeah, so I played this game. I love this game. At the time, when I go back and I can play it now, it's decent. Yeah, I think for me, I feel like it's above average action platformer. With a interesting or somewhat interesting story. So yeah, Time Slip. Yeah, pretty decent run and gun shooter. I'll be excited to share it with you guys, and so you can see what I see. Hope maybe you'll find some good gameplay action in it, and might find it interesting yourself. All right, going into the Sega Genesis. All right, Lotus II. I always heard about this. It was a great game. I heard this was like very similar to Top Gear. In Top Gear 1 and 2 for the Super Nintendo. So I was like, some people even like this one better, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta try it. I have just barely played this, so no, opinion so far, but it seems really good. It seems really good. Good to have in my collection, and definitely look forward to playing that some more to see how well it actually holds up to Top Gear. This Sega Genesis game, I heard so much about. Steel Empire. It's very interesting. You're a blimp. And you can pick actually two different. I've only briefly played it, and I want to say there's two different. You want to say vehicles you can use. One is a blimp, and the other one is the biplane. I do believe. And so they have a different feel, different kind of weapon system. But I've heard a lot of good things about this Genesis shooter. So when I seen it, I've never seen it out in the wild ever. And I want to say this dude wanted like $7 for it. Yeah. Yes, it was like no more than $9. And my eyes about flew in my head. I'm like, are you serious? I couldn't believe the price or the fact that it was actually there. So picked this up, and good to have in the collection for, can't hurt to have more Sega Genesis shooters in your life. Speaking of shooters, PC Engine. You got Mr. Heli. Complete Mr. Heli. Got a really good price. I want to say I pay 30 bucks. 30 bucks, I think, I paid for this complete. So not too shabby. With the manual there, which I'm not gonna take out right now. Nothing on the back. Just your typical PC Engine games. They don't really show too many pictures or nothing. Yeah, Irem. Oh man, Irem. R-Type. And a slew of other just unstoppable, amazing, soul-crushingly hard sometimes games, but so good and intelligently designed. So Mr. Heli doesn't fall so hard, as it's just very intelligently designed and fun to play game. Very cool. Definitely above average so far, but I need to play it some more for sure to get a good feel of where exactly it sits among all the other amazing shooters on the TurboGrafx and PC Engine. Speaking of TurboGrafx, the last game I picked up, and I just recently got this, like last week, Bloody Wolf for the TurboGrafx 16. I put them in these magic to get card slips just because they fit so well, so why not, right? To help protect them. But yeah, so Bloody Wolf, it's an absolute staple in the TurboGrafx library. You have to have it. I mean, if you got a TurboGrafx, this is a game. You have to have it. Like, people will absolutely, okay, well, you start showing them like, oh yeah, I got the Bonk games, I got Blazing Lasers, and they're like, okay, well, do you got Bloody Wolf? I mean, come on, if you say no, then then they'll just turn around and walk away and never talk to you again. I mean, you're basically a complete loser. So you have to have Bloody Wolf. It's exclusive to the console. Based upon an arcade game. So it wasn't released anywhere else. So I had to have it. I did pay $60 for it. But I had to have it. And it was getting to the point where if it got any higher, I wouldn't be able to pick it up. It's like one of those things, you either pick it up now or don't pick it up at all. So I got it. It's freaking great. So I'm glad to have it. In my TurboGrafx and PC Engine collection, I'm actually about done with my PC Engine TurboGrafx. I about have everything I want. So, and as the grand finale, something that we're going to go have a whole video over, play all those 8-bit games I picked up and all the other 8-bit games I have. Got me a little piece of hardware. Oh yeah. The Retro USB AVS. Yep, I did it. I had to choose between modding my Nintendo console, original Nintendo console, or picking up one of these. And I'm telling you, man, I had a real hard time. Output's HDMI, powered by USB, 720p. I thought this was awesome too. It's got 4 controller ports built in and ready to go. It uses like the original buttons. And it's FPGA console. And if you guys heard anything about the FPGA consoles, it's pretty much where you got a board that you can program, and the board will be anything you want it to be. And it's only as good as the programmer, but the guys behind, guys at Retro USB, and they know their stuff. They got it down to a perfect science, and it is in every sense of the word perfection. It is not emulating. No, it's just the board itself thinks It is. That's the best way I can put it. It is programmed to think, and as far as I know, that's what it is. A NES. And this is equivalent to like Nintendo releasing the Nintendo Entertainment System in this day and age. So long story short, because like I said, we'll be going over this console in a different video, showing you all the options and stuff. Either I paid $240 to get my original NES updated with like RGB, or pay under $200 and get a brand new piece of hardware like this. And once you know all the bells and whistles that this can do, I think you'll understand why I went this direction. I was kind of wondering if I was making the right choice, but now that I have it, I absolutely did make the right choice. I would love to have my original NES RGB modded, but for the price, it just didn't make any sense. This made more sense. So, you know, some of these games here that you know, you found interesting, you know, let me know what you think about any of these games. Any of the games I've shown, played any of them. Do you have any in your collection? You know, any of this stuff you got? Let me know.